Leave it coming up.
Hello, everybody. Internet is playing crazy. It's a good day
Okay.
again. Mel, how you do?
Hi, Tony. I'm good. How are
How are
you?
your day?
My day was quiet as always.
Well, it's beautiful outside. I was coming,
Yeah.
but and I had a wonderful day today. I work hard, but God bless a man who work hard. Hope one day he have a beautiful woman so she can spend his money. Ain't that money? That's the Bahamian thing, you all Bahamian woman like spend man money.
And I know you ain't have no shortage in that field.
What's that? What the you be talking about now?
Woman to spend your money.
Oh, woman spending money. Yeah, boy, listen here. I got a couple. I got plenty. I ain't short of love. I got a whole list.
Bless, bless,
Yeah, I
bless.
bless.
Bless is the man that have lots of people to
Hmm.
love and spend his money.
And I ain't short. You know, we have our show where we talk relationships and love
Mm-hmm.
and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one thing I could tell you, I ain't short of love. I have some beautiful sisters who love me endlessly.
Mm-hmm.
I have uh, brothers who love me. So I ain't short of love. I don't have to go looking for love. I have a whole family of love, nieces, sisters, brothers, uncle, aunts, everybody love me. And so, and we come from a family that share love.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I could sit here and they talk about love
Okay.
and display love. And
Because you know what you're talking about. You have the lived experience.
yeah, because some people go out looking for attention and love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand that it's like if you come from a background where love is shared, love is continuously, and
Yeah.
like I say,
No
consistently.
deficits.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
so once you come from a family where love is shown,
Mm-hmm.
now love shown a different way. Like some people need to be in your face every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's a whole different kettle of fish. No, I'm talking about even if you don't see me for 6 months, but when you see me, you realize that
It was like yesterday.
yeah, and you realize that I was probably busy.
So that's the consistency.
Yeah, and and,
Mm.
and so and so
And they live off the memory of the addiction.
yeah, and 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 then when we're talking on the same terms of love,
Mm-hmm.
but and relationship, but even in the Christian society,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why it appears to be the right thing or is should be the right thing. Let me get it right. But most times is not because it's a front and a fake.
Okay.
But even in the way the Christians embrace you,
Mm-hmm.
they show love, which is agape love.
Yeah.
And so they show that love. And so once that love is shared
Mm-hmm.
and straight across the board, um, I I I always say one of the things we do wrong. Let me get to our topic. One of the things we do wrong in the Bahamas, if we don't, this is what we do. We somehow, let me see if I can say this right. We somehow try to love negatively.
Oh. Oh, you mean like withhold our love and
Yeah, yeah,
use love
yeah,
as punishment with
yeah,
all the neg? I
yeah.
understand. So we do reverse
Through
psychology.
voice psychology with love,
Yeah.
and
And
some,
that affects us so terribly,
yeah.
you
But
know,
but that's what we do most times. And then
because it's like we want to withhold it so that we don't get taken advantage of.
right, and today we talking about bonding
Bonding
and
in
relationship.
relationships,
Okay,
yeah.
one of the things that, and we talking about this love that man has a difficulty with,
Hmm.
is that men don't want to bond.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what men want,
They want to stay elusive, eh?
yes, we say,
Have keep you craving for them.
yeah, yeah. We don't.
And you know, that does more harm than good. They would be amazed just how their life will turn around
Mm.
if they were to be more expressive, to be more free.
But we were not taught that way.
It wasn't exemplified
Okay.
because you were taught that way verbally.
Yeah. Where
Because
would it?
everybody been to church or been to Sunday
Yeah.
school or even in school.
Yeah.
People tell you you are to love unconditionally, give your best and all of that. But it's not seen, and we learn more from what we see than what we
But
hear.
how could you tell me
To
you
love.
the love in the church?
Uh-huh.
Now watch this now. You in the church. You telling me the love. But if I go to touch your hand, no, 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 that ain't when you touch that love. Don't touch your hand, because that's a different type of love.
Again,
Ah,
again,
here we go
again,
again.
it is avoidance
Mm-hmm.
of what could be, right? But again, that brings the negativity home more stronger
That's what I
than
said it for.
anything else
Mm-hmm.
because our minds are so saturated in
Negative.
negativity
Yeah.
that every effort, and I am bewildered by it, even when we are dealing with our children. Children mimic what they see, and if a male child go towards a girl child, or even a male towards a male, and they go to, oh, you don't do that, you sissy, or
Mm-hmm.
oh, this one, they fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on. It's
See,
what you read into something, you're converting your adult language
mm-hmm.
into the minds of children.
a mo- just like a
So
child.
there's no innocence in
Oh
anything you
Lord,
do.
here we go. Here we go. We we talking about bonding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if a boy child, come up to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you are his grandmother, and he decide to kiss you in your mouth, not your lip, and he keep
Mm-hmm.
on trying to kiss you in your lip, and you like, oh, the child boy first. See, by you telling him, right? Don't give me.
But you
He's
can
now
guide him.
ah,
You can guide
but the
him
right
instead.
way to do is guide him
Yeah. Give
in
him
the
a
right,
quick kiss.
right,
He may,
right.
who
But
knows what he may want to do,
but
but
you cannot destroy
yes.
his
Esteem,
esteem.
his
Yeah,
his affection for
for
you
his
because
affection. So you
and we
educate.
kill it.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
people wouldn't. This boy fresh and they spank you something and grab you
Mm-hmm.
looking. But
Mm-hmm.
see, what you need to do is teach him, so he won't lose that touch. So when
Yeah.
he see a beautiful woman his old age, he still have
Or
that.
even teenage,
Yeah,
he
it's
will
a
be
touch.
able to put things in
We
the
just
right
block up.
perspective.
Yeah, we just block up the
Yeah.
whole,
With
and we
negativity.
negative. We so
Negativity.
negative
Mm-hmm.
in this whole thing, and then bonding. But that's not really where I wanted to go.
Okay.
All this sweet part and love and all, that's
Mm-hmm.
not where I want to go.
Okay.
When I decided to take this
On this
topic
topic,
on
yeah.
bonding, I was dealing with issue of mothers and sons.
What about fathers and
Or the
daughters?
father and daughter, mother, son, father, daughter. I like beat up on the woman, but mostly women. I can start with first because what I when I come up with this topic for 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I would basically was on how mothers get carried away and bond so tight with their sons
Mm-hmm.
and don't even share this bond with their husband. See, a mother and a son bond. Let me explain to the for the public to know where I'm coming from. A mother will let a child, a man, or a big grown man or a son, don't even work. She take care of him in the
Mm-hmm.
house. She cook food. She buy him. She gave him money. She
Mm-hmm.
even gave him money to buy dope. And she okay. And then when the husband try to steer him right or try to, it's a problem. And the bonding that the mother and the son have, she will actually tell the man, he come from me, you know. In other words, I born this child. You only
Mm-hmm.
put it there, but I born it. And so, in other words, what you saying, back off, buddy. See, go on.
Again, um, there are two branches to that kind of a response. I don't know what your observation has been, but mine has been from a female perspective
Let me hear
that
this.
men are extremely harsh on their sons. there are some men that have that balance. So when there is a
Mm-hmm.
balance kind of situation, I think the woman really should allow the man to be the man and teach his son, because a woman cannot teach
Mm-hmm.
a boy how to be a
But
man.
a woman always wouldn't let the husband deal with the boy. She always,
If he's approaching the child aggressively,
it didn't matter.
no, it does
That
matter.
doesn't matter.
It matters
But this my
because
child.
that don't matter, because if you are gonna broke your son in the process of trying to make him, as a mother, I'm not gonna allow my
M-
son's father to break him.
the only time you want me to break him is when you can't, when you done finished and you can't do nothing about it.
That's not
But
necessarily
that's
the
the truth.
case.
90% of the time, y'all mothers bond with these boys so much in this relationship. Y'all bond with these boys so much until the man that who's there, who's supposed to be the leader,
Hmm.
he's gonna become a puppet, a wolf in the house. He can't open him up because the son will then say, "Boy, that's my mother."
I think it's only
All right.
in extreme situations. I don't
No,
think
and
that that is the case
if
in what I would call a balanced
but if
family
you put it
arrangement.
but if you put it out there, you put it out there for the people to give you feedback on, right?
Men,
They will
or
tell you,
most Bahamian men will tell you, yeah, that's the case.
yeah.
But then the thing about problems in solving problems is to always look at the role that you are playing. Look at it.
Mhm.
When relationships break down, a woman would always be the first one to say, let's go get counseling. And the man would say, oh, I don't need to go to nobody. You know why? Because they, in their mind, is always right. They're never wrong. And whatever he considers to be right is right. And there is no discussion. And when those who do go into counseling, they say, oh, they always taking your side. And then what y'all conclude? Oh, he like you. Come on, you men fail to own up to the errors of their ways.
What you see now? Hold on, don't go down the road because I could go down that road. We could go round and all around the road. I want to keep it civil because I don't want to go down. But you
Bonds.
know the
So
bonding
how
of.
many men bond with their sons in the Bahamas? Let's look at it.
But we can't bond because y'all don't allow us.
So why is it that we allow y'all to bond with the daughters?
No, because y'all don't really care about the daughters.
That's not the
Because two
truth.
women can't get along.
That's
Two
not the
women can't live in the
truth.
same house.
That's not
Two
the
women look
truth.
alike. They like they looking at the same thing. They share for the same part. They listen, listen. I,
That's not the
men,
women in the Bahamas get along with their daughters and their sons. Now I may say that as the teen years roll in and the girl begins to show her attitude, okay? And then of course in the eyes of most Bahamian fathers, their daughters could do no wrong.
because of this because we see the fact that daughters stick with us straight to the end.
but
Yeah,
but let me let
yeah,
me let
real
me let
talk.
me bring in
Bring in rhythm, bring in,
another angle to this.
then bring it on
The
you.
same man who cling and love and cherish and don't want nobody to touch his daughter will abuse the girl's mother right in her presence.
Well, if see, hold on. If that father is abusing
The mother
the mother
and showing love to the
and
daughter.
showing love,
Hmm.
there's something is wrong there.
So
Most definitely,
now
something is definitely wrong.
let's flip that
Let's
as
flip
it
that.
relates to the father son and the mother son. It's the same kind of setup.
No,
It's the same kind of
no, it
setup.
is a different because a woman,
From a male perspective, it will be
yeah, because a
different. From a
woman's supposed to
female,
be soft, gentle, loving, kind, and the whole works of that. A dude ain't supposed to be stuck up in the house on the computer. He ain't supposed to
in
be.
your
No, he should see when a man become a man
mm,
at the age of 18,
mhm.
he's supposed to be able to stand on his own 2 feet.
If his father teaches him, and the mother supports the father during the process
But
of
this is the point
teaching
again
him.
that the mothers never support the father because the mothers don't want the
Say
son.
some
Some
mothers
mothers don't
don't.
want the son to become like the father because the father might have some issue going on in the house that the mother don't like, right? And so the mother is saying she protecting the son. You can't protect a man. Yeah, man, go outside, but why? I get to the point that I made the show. Why is your woman still loving big grown man sitting up in your house talking about you all day on the computer? I can't find a job. And they, what is all about?
The eras have changed and the focus have changed. And one of the things that I feel um, we as adults are still stuck in the era in which we were raised. But the profile of society has changed, the role, the responsibility, not only that, our parents sent us to government school. We send our children to private school. And because we send our children to private school, oh, they're supposed to have a job in the bank and this place, that place. And so blue collar jobs is beneath them. I will say for personally that I came to understand the role, responsibility of males as I saw my son evolve into adulthood. Okay? And what the sons try to do is exactly what they see the father do. They figure that they could now come and take the daddy place and control the mother. Because that's all daddy do is he controls. So they learn that my job is to control. Now, they may not control with as much authority as the husband, but they do somehow. And it has to be a very strong woman to say, look, you come from me. Just like how when the man, you say they just tell the man, he or she come from me, that's my child. Well, a woman who sees, and if we are honest and want the best for our children, especially our sons, we are gonna guide and we're gonna steer, and we're not gonna allow them to fall asleep in the driver's seat.
Well, I fall asleep all the time. I probably fall asleep on the show and all. And but men believe now. We believe that we has totally lost all our stripes
I feel, I
when it comes
feel,
to mothers and bonding with each other. Because
I,
the
I, I
mother don't allow us
mm-hmm.
to stay. I give you what I talking about.
Go ahead.
When I was when I was in married and young in my marriage, I tried to take my sons to me on the construction side with me because when I was building, I wanted to pass it to. I wanted to be middle in the day so they'll know how it feels. My former wife used to tell me, she said, not my children, bring them home. Ah, not them there, they're closing it. So the point I'm making is this. You stop your children from bonding with your father.
And you know what?
Mhm.
That is where we have this what is right and what is wrong, and where do we draw the line? Because trust me, as a man, you are trying to instill in your sons some skills. You were supposed to say, they my children and they are boys, and I will take them to learn and let them make the noise. Sometimes you just have to know where the benefit lie in whatever the decision or the disagreement is about, because I feel as a man there are certain things you just don't allow a woman to overpower you with. I don't care how the cat jump. And likewise with the woman, if I see my husband abusing my children, I have a right to protect those children. He may not be cognizant of the fact that he is severe in his approach. So I may not do it whilst he is, unless he's really inflicting harm on them. But in our private moment, I'll say to him, I think you're being too hard on this child. and you need to maybe try a different approach or something like that.
But I don't believe in it. Period.
You don't believe in what?
I don't believe in woman should has the rights to
Protect your children?
protect. Yeah, she can protect her children, but she shouldn't have the rights to stop the man
I agree.
from
I
bringing
agree.
these boys up. See,
I
because at the end of
agree.
the day, when these boys get to the courthouse,
Mm-hmm.
then you call the father, and then when you call the father, it's
Linda Gilbert
my
said
sister.
that's a 5 cents.
Yeah, what's the 5 cents?
Yeah.
What's the 5 cent? Little, what's the 5 cent? That's it. Okay, she just come in and gone.
No, she'll tell us.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you can tell us exactly
yeah.
what your five
We'll say your five
cents,
cents. Then.
because
But
sorry we missed it. It
yeah,
might
we
have
miss
been
it.
something Tony said or
Said yeah.
something I said.
Supplement.
So let us know.
From if you have a child who's a man, who's a boy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the man should be the one that's steering because you just said it. Man cannot
Women can't teach
teach
a
a
boy
man
how
what
to
to
be a
do.
man.
But why is these women always butting in and then they call it bonding with their son? They want born with son, but they don't want me born with my child. And even when my kids get older, the mother still look like they, oh, don't listen to your pa, I eat it. You trying to wonder like, hold on now, when would you leave these boys, let these boys grow up? I, I, I ain't talking what I hear, And friends called me up with this topic about how these women got these big. Let me tell you, men who date women, especially men who date women,
You mean women with children that
women
are
with
not
children,
theirs?
and most times take the children dictates how the relation goes. The children.
Again, that only happens in situations
Because no,
where
it
it
happen.
only
Your
happens
woman,
in
majority of the situation,
situations
your woman
where
will always choose the children over the person.
it only happens in
Ah, all the time.
situations where the
Where my people out there? Where
communication
my people? Answer me.
between the man and the wife,
Denise,
you have
Audrey,
to
Bunny,
you
Anthony,
have
y'all,
to you have to
take me,
present
give me
a
something here.
unified front when you are parenting.
But
You
this
can't
is
see
where the problem comes in.
kids.
The
You
unified front is never there.
okay,
Because
and you know
the
why?
woman so into her children, because she the only gift of God that can born. So she was born with her children. So she never give the man the opportunity to do it.
Well, Tony, I'm gonna tell you, and
Tell me
I'm
what you
only
gonna tell me.
telling you based on what I have
Okay.
heard a lot of women
All right, we got you
said.
now, Linda.
Okay,
We got you now, Linda.
I've heard a lot of women
Mm-hmm.
say that
That the what? Woman
the
do
I
what?
can tell you
Mm-hmm.
the men are jealous of their children.
I mean,
Yes, meaning that they want you as a woman to neglect your children, pay attention to him, and then when you done finish paying attention to him, then you go and deal with the children.
no,
That's
no.
how a lot of women feel.
That, but let's go to Linda
So
now.
Linda says that the women sometimes don't know their role and where to draw the line, and that is true. Vice versa.
See, I respect that what you're saying, right?
Hmm.
But the truth is the truth, and most men. That's why I had. This is why this topic come up because men say to me, "Man, listen, that's why I still those. That woman got that boy there. He on the computer. He come here through the night. Eat up all the food.
But then
Man,
it's the
hold
communication.
on. You cannot see when you start telling that woman about her child. It's
Hmm.
a very difficult thing. But her son, you could tell about a daughter, but when it comes to a son, it's a different. See, because women born with those sons so tight, because women believe that when they born in relationship with their son, ain't that what they cover. Let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what I think it is. Come straight to it.
Hmm.
It is like they hide some of the weakness of the son, so they protect him.
I think
Mm.
that that protection only kicks in when the woman feels as if the husband and father is being a little too harsh. Now, women do have a soft spot, right? Especially, and I can't say for all women, but I know that some women, if you have a husband who doesn't show affection, but only shows correction, and you have people like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you will be the best that you could be. You will lay out the best. You will give the best, and they will not say a compliment, a thank you, but let you not lay something in the right. What happened to you? You
Yeah.
so what happened to all the good that I did? And if men do that with women and other people, how do you think it looks for a child? You're teaching children a one-sided approach to life, never to appreciate and compliment the good. So, as I said earlier, a lot of Bahamian men are like that, especially with their sons. How many men there are some, I know that there are some men who will have father son interaction, take their sons outdoors and play with them. But the majority of men, just like how you say, they run to the bar, they complain. But if the woman is not allowing you to raise your son, my God, you are the one who are failing because, as I said, if I see my husband being too harsh on either of the children, I would have a conversation with him in the bedroom at some point when things are quiet down. That's
But
just me,
but what's
right?
wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with me going to the bar?
You said
I guess
that they
man.
no no, you say that they run to the
Yeah.
bar to escape
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
hardship and
Yeah.
the lack of authority in the home.
But it was just a joke. It was just a joke. But watch this now. Watch where I'm going with this.
Go ahead.
We're going with this bonding issue.
Mm-hmm.
So why would a woman tell her daughter
Mm-hmm.
to take up the big workless grown man, girl, boy's food?
Again,
Why
that
would the mother tell the daughter
again,
clean the dishes and not
again,
tell him clean the dishes?
again.
Why would the mother protect him? See, just see. I only saying my show is based on what people ask
and
me
I
to,
and
and
I
I
and
bring up.
I and I
Um,
appreciate
and
that.
I only saying what they say.
But let me ask you
Go
the
ahead, ask me the
question.
question. Go ahead.
Where did you learn to parent?
I tell you where I learned to parent.
Mm-hmm.
The same Linda Gilbert,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yolanda Pratt
Mm-hmm.
and Patrice Fernanda. Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. When I was coming up, they were my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones who steer me. My mother used to be out straw market
Working.
working, but
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones who steer me. And they, even when I had my children, and I do certain things, they used to say, "That's not the way." I telling you, sit them right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
They say, "That's not the way." Even even having issues when my children get older,
Uh-huh.
my sisters was the ones who say, "Well, let's talk." But see, my family's a different kettle of fish.
Tony, not only that, your era was a different
Yeah,
era.
yeah, every
And
different.
and and this is what I want. That's why I ask you the
Who taught
question,
me?
right?
Mm.
Because it takes a community, it takes a village to raise a child.
I don't like that talk.
You have,
I don't like that talk.
hold on
I don't
though,
like the community
hold
thing.
on though.
I
But
don't like.
it
Nope,
is.
nope,
Your
nope.
community is your family. Your family make a
I say
community.
my family. When y'all say community,
But community
my
has
neighbors
many.
used to drink rum, and the next ones to smoke dope. So my neighbors, no village in this.
But guess what?
No
Let
villages.
me tell you something. I grew up in a village where even the drunkard, if they see you going wrong, they would say, "Hey, hey, straighten up and go
But
home to
there
your
were a
mother."
lot of people in that village who causes the Bahamas the way it is now. We lost control. So when people talk about that village, I get upset. Now you might be right, because ain't all village is good. Because all
And
75%,
you are so right because guess
75%,
what? All families are not good. And
Right.
that is
That's the
why,
key. Right.
I asked you, where did you learn?
So what?
You had models in your sisters.
Yes.
So imagine now me, right?
Mhm.
I had my cousins, and back in the day, if your cousin was 2 years, 3 years older than you answer them yes sir or yes ma'am.
And today, let me give you something. Right today.
So you had a
My
chain of
sisters don't
command.
care.
Mm-hmm.
They just want me to get married. They don't care who I'm at. I always be shocked when you hear them say that, but I understand where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
What they meant. Don't just marry anybody. I understand what they mean. Well, you have to hurry up marry somebody so you could, right? I understand
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
but but this village thing, and everybody say it. It takes a village.
But that
That
is
is
true.
that is
It
nonsense.
even takes a village to keep a marriage. Because, let me tell you something, it's the
I think
right influence. That's what a village is, a cluster of people
I
guiding you along the path to success.
mm,
That's what a village is. So, in essence, even it could be a group of people leading you down the wrong path too.
mm,
Because, as I always say, a man is known by the company he keeps. But when people truly care about you, and that's what love is, they will steer you down the path.
yeah,
So,
but
come back now into the home where, if I am the mother of your son and you are trying to discipline that son, and I get in the way
oh, that's British. That's a great
as a
thing.
man,
Mm.
you are the shepherd of that home, and you have the right to say to me, woman, stay out of this.
But
Even if I do it right, you may be wrong, and I'll say, okay, and I will step back. But if you don't take your authority and you go to the bar instead and talk about it with the boys and drink the rum and all that, what solution is it? It means now that you leave me to destroy your heritage, because at the end of the day, my children don't take my name,
but
they take your name.
yeah, but I just don't have to go to the bar. I have
Yeah, you could go around the
see
corner to another woman.
no
You
no
could
no
do
no 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 no
anything.
no no. Let's make sense of this. I can go straight down the line.
Mhm.
See, not the bar, because say I go into the bar and
Mhm.
discuss it.
Mhm.
But I also could go to the church, the fellas at the
But
church, and discuss it.
don't
Hold
go
on,
to
hold
nobody.
on,
Come to
hold on,
me.
hold on, hold on. And sometimes I get good advice from both ends.
Mhm.
But but here's the problem.
Mhm.
But when I come to you, that's when I get screwed up. Because see, you are trying to
And
tell
so
me
why do you
who you
let
are.
me tell you?
No, because women are, y'all are very aggressive in the mouth. And so you gonna say something sooner or later that gonna turn me off from this conversation,
Mhm.
and then I can walk away.
Okay,
And we can get
because
nowhere.
okay.
Because
Well,
Bahamian
I
woman,
agree that
Bahamian
there,
woman
but
got a chat chat.
ain't too much Bahamian men who can turn and walk away now. They can put that woman in a place.
No, that's old school. That's what we used to do back in the day.
Oh, so who tell you they ain't happening today
No,
too?
no. No.
But guess
Because
what?
women wants their rights. Everybody want their right. So what they do now, we leave you. We say, you know what? We let you buck your big toe. So when your
So
child,
at the end of the
so
day,
when your child get
your
locked up now,
child get locked
yeah,
up.
when he
That's
get locked
your
up,
child
no,
too, though.
but this are man things. You didn't want me to deal with it then. All buck-ups go
So you
now.
know what I call that?
What do you call it?
Renouncing your authority.
I
In
can
essence, you throw your hand up in the air. But guess what?
because you gonna tell me. First of all, you gonna tell me that child come from you. Secondly, and you know the last thing you tell me, and you gonna whisper this in your breath. This is what you gonna whisper in your breath. That probably even this ain't probably even your child.
Tony, why? Why do you always go down that path?
but
Anyhow,
and that's true.
no.
Majority of cases that's true.
Mm, when you see what you painting is a very bad picture here.
70% of the what I can say a story. 70% of the male today. Hold on now. Don't go there. Just listen to me. I ain't going there.
Go ahead.
70% of the male, young male, at the age 16 and up,
Mm-hmm.
done smoking dope.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking dope.
It's a
And
dope culture we
no,
live
but
in.
let me give you something happened to me. Tony,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't talk what I hear. I talk what I know. I was going from east
To west.
to west.
Mhm.
And last Saturday, yeah, come
Mhm.
in the show.
Mhm.
Last Saturday, come in the show. And I went through four corners. I could tell you, tell you where I go on and not stopping there.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the first one was experience. I I come off Prince Charles, and you know, in the back of where the school
Mhm.
is, I
Mhm.
come off Prince Charles to come through. And what had happened when I came to the back of Prince Charles, they, in this community, Gleniston, they had this repast, that's what you call it.
Mhm. From a funeral, yeah.
Every young man at
Person.
this repast,
Mhm.
listen to this now.
Mhm.
This is not a story. I'm telling you facts and truth. Everybody had on a white T-shirt with this guy's
Mhm.
face on it,
Mhm.
and everybody had a cup in their hand. And these kids was of about from 13 and up.
My lord.
And
Fruit punch.
everybody had a weed in the next hand. I watched. I was gonna record it. I watched it, but let me tell you what's shocking.
Mhm. As you
They
continued.
they in the road,
Mhm.
so all 3, 4 cars in front of me got stopped.
Mhm.
So I about to blow, cause I ain't scared of them. I about to get you all backside of the road. But apparently one of the guys who know me come to the car and he say, "Hey, kill it! What you saying?" And he talking to me, right? And I say, "Get these boys off the road for me." So he said, "Hold on, hey, get on the road. This the boss, right? This what he's saying." So as he get him on the road, I start passing through, and hey, everybody hailing me. Like I know some of the guys,
Mhm.
around being around the
Mhm.
basketball
Mhm.
thing. But I decided by the mall and cut through there by the mall and cut through. Guess what
Mhm.
happened? I made another
Another.
repass. But
Mhm.
everybody got a cup and weed smoking. This time,
That's the new
but
Bahamian
but
culture.
but this time, everybody
Mhm.
smoking cigars.
Okay.
Another cup.
So these were more
So
men then.
so I know these boys. So I'm
Boys.
trying to figure
A older group, a older
for
cluster.
repass. That's how much people dying. But that's not the issue today. It was shocking to me how young these boys was.
Mhm.
And it's also shocking the fact to see that we in trouble. Now I'm not blaming women. I'm not blaming women in this. I'm just saying this is what I experienced last Saturday. And so
It is parents, I would
what I'm
think.
trying to say, the new culture of our country
The world,
has
global
changed.
culture.
And I believe because boy and God, you know what? Sometimes the Bible and God, you gotta say, boy, and the Bible is so right. Because let me tell you why I say this. Because for what I seen, it stems from majority of mothers that they are single.
Mhm.
And when they are single, there's no father in the home.
No
And
uncle,
yeah,
no uncle, no
and
no
when the
cousins.
and come back to the same conversation.
Mhm.
And when the father's in the home, the woman somehow control the relationship.
Okay.
And so this this manhood is not explained. The only way you could deal with some of these boys I'm talking about,
Mhm.
they need the fathers to be there to see. Fathers understand them better than women. Women think they know boys better. No, fathers understand. I know if I teaching kids at the basketball, and if I know if I let this boy come and grab the basketball
Mhm.
and shoot it,
Mhm.
one of the other boys can show up, but Mr. Williams, how you get the basketball? That's what they can say. So I got to be able to control all of them the same way and
Mhm.
treat them all the same so they
Mhm.
understand.
Mhm.
And what has happened when mothers allow sons to get away things at an early age, and she hold on, wait,
Let
let me
me.
finish. Don't
Mhm.
understand. I
Mhm.
wanted to finish this. And she think that her bonding to this boy by giving him everything he want, showing him love, letting him do whatever he want to do because daddy gone. And she trying to fill this role, but what she's doing is actually spoiling the boy.
Mhm.
Now we can use a different word. We get fancy, like them people in shows get fancy. They come right down there spoiling the boy. I ain't
Mhm.
getting on it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And and what you're doing is taking away. Would you say my hood? What do you call it?
The manhood,
No, what do you call
the authority.
my authority?
Mhm.
So once you take away my authority, and he's picking up somebody else's authority in the street,
Mhm. Mhm.
he can have no respect for me. because he's picking up somebody else's authority. He coming home with somebody else's authority.
But Tony,
Anyway, let me
if
finish.
we were to really, really reverse this whole process
Yeah,
and start from early childhood,
let me try.
see, I think
Let people
that
call me. See what happens.
oftentimes people oftentimes people wait too late to intervene.
Mhm.
If a man truly establish a bond with his son early in his formative years, 0 to 5, ain't no woman in the world will dare.
Okay, tell you what. Hold on. We're gonna try something. Try to reach us at 558-4982. If you don't want to text and WhatsApp, just call me 558-4982. Because you know some of y'all ain't want text. And y'all could put your 5 cents into this. Let's try that. And see how that works. Alright? Yeah. But
I listened to
mhm,
you.
yeah.
um she said, Tony, she has a point, and I think that was the point
Oh, the
before
point
you
before you
had
put
had spoken.
mm,
um I feel that men need to learn how to engage themselves in the children's life. They leave too much of the parenting to the mother. So
mm.
by the time as the as
I don't
the
buy
as
that.
the child, I buy it.
I don't buy that.
The majority, like you said, the majority of men, 70% of boys in this country, their fathers are absent.
Because circumstances beyond
Yeah,
all the
they
men control. Because you don't like me no more, but you don't want me to take care of the child because you trying to keep the child away
Tony,
from me. Hold
okay.
on, you trying to keep
That's
the child to
that's
spite me.
I would say that's 30% true. That's true for 30%. But the 40% of the others,
Mhm.
they was hit and run
Yeah, but
long
but
before the
but
child even was
yeah,
conceived
but well,
fully.
but
They
that
were gone.
but there goes the problem. Why would you bring a child in this situation knowing that the father don't really want it?
Because it ain't about the father not really wanting it, it's about the practice of rolling in the hay as soon as you have the opportunity without even getting to know anything about this man. Some of them discover later he in a relationship with somebody, he married, he have 4 other children with 4 different women,
Whose
and the
problem is that?
list goes
Whose
on.
problem is that? So you open up your
So
legs.
you
Hold
are,
on.
see, I know
You
you was gonna put the
no,
problem on the
I ain't putting the
woman.
problem on the
Yeah,
woman.
that's
No,
what you're doing.
no, hold on.
But
You
you know you already have 4 children that you ain't taking care of. You don't think you condomize?
but you don't think you should condomize? Make sure me I condomize too.
I agree,
You
it
should
is a
take your boy
shared
control. You don't take your
responsibility.
boy control.
I believe it is a
But
shared
you know you
responsibility.
could be pregnant. You should one. You carrying the baby, not me.
I agree.
You should be the one saying, "Boy, hold on, Bala. I can wrap this up because I have a this and carrying this on by myself."
Mhm.
Women need to be smarter.
I agree.
But this conversation is
But
not based on
men
woman
need
and
to
not American.
share the responsibility
You see,
because that child is yours as well.
I agree. But when women talk about bonding, what they meant, they're spoiling the child. That's what they call bonding. Bonding in relationship. But
Do you
bonding, if it's a good
realize?
bonding, if it's a good bonding where mother is telling the child that listen, you cannot disobey your father. I stand here with him. Me and him, whatever he says, goes. If he's saying you need to find a job, you need to get up and go find a job. If he says you need to get up and grate the yard, you follow that rule because he is the leader of this house. And see, it is too far. We so removed from decent relationship and this game about bonding with their sons. Oh, well, I ain't bonding. I got to bond with my son. You ain't got to bond with your son. Your son gonna bond with you anyhow because he love you from the minute you know you was his mother.
Exactly.
Okay, so
And
what?
vice versa with the father.
I am
But the
just
fathers don't spend enough time with their children.
in the world today. In the world today, Now let's talk about the other bonding because I don't want people to think of we talking about one bonding. Let's talk about the other bonding. Let's talk about bonding in a relationship of love, where the relationship for the relationship could be where it's born. You saying something? When the relationship is be born, and where there's a few things has to happen so it you can bond.
You know what well, go ahead,
No, you
but
go. You go.
you know what I'd like for you to also touch?
What you want me to touch?
Something that Bahamian men are very good at.
Oh Lord, let me
Bonding with
have you.
people outside of their relationship,
Why you want to go there?
outside, because that is one of the things that, you see, you just enforce the male escapism attitude that prevails in our country.
Mhm.
Men do not want to own up to anything. All you want is a free ticket and a free ride to heaven every day.
Well, let me.
And somebody else have to create it for you.
Yeah, because you told me you love me.
And then what do you do for me?
Yeah. So when you told me you love me, right? You make me the king.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Women, stop telling men you all love them,
Yeah.
okay?
No, 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 no. Hold on now. Woman got to tell him that. But you made me the king when you decided that you say you love me
And
because
when you say you love me, what you make me?
I supposed to make you the queen.
Oh, you see that? Y'all hear it right from Tony. I suppose no, it's definitely she make you the king,
Yeah.
but you supposed to make her the queen.
But y'all don't make us.
There it
Hold
goes.
on. Y'all don't want to be the queen. You know what y'all want?
Jesus, listen to that
No,
again. He
y'all don't want.
putting the blame on the woman.
No,
When y'all fail to do what y'all supposed to do, you still blame the woman. Come on, man. Take some responsibility for something.
my hands are tied when y'all want to take charge. So my hands are tied. So all I do now is follow you. And men shouldn't be in the situation where they have to follow a woman.
I agree
But y'all
100%.
do that to
Men are.
men.
When God made woman, what did he make her? Leader or helpmeet?
Y'all tell me, watch now,
What did he make her? Leader or helpmeet?
help me. But she
Oh,
don't accept that role.
what they say? Sarah called Abraham,
When I say
Lord,
watch now,
Master.
my hands are
You the
tied.
master?
No, but hold on. When I try to lead, the only way you want me to lead is with my money.
Well, guess what?
You don't want me to
But
lead.
guess what?
See, I bring Christ in your life. Explain. Let me explain that.
Go ahead.
When I come save and sanctify. Right? So I come to lead. And
My
so
Lord
when
have
I come to
mercy.
lead, the first thing you can tell me is that now listen here. When we in church, you could talk about that. But when we here, this bill gotta be paid. See, you throw this on me. This woman, real woman, this how they do it. So if you ain't a strong man, most men get tricked this way. If you ain't a strong man to set this woman
I
right,
have never met a weak man yet. The only weakness y'all
what
have
world
as
you live
men,
in? What
the
world you
only
live in?
weakness y'all have as men is woman. And that only one aspect of woman. But when it comes to everything else, a woman can never make a man do nothing he doesn't want to do.
Listen to me. What world you live in? I tell you, old school, right? See, you live in this
You
world.
all, let me say something.
You
Y'all
live in
just
this world.
hide behind women. Y'all hide behind women. But y'all do what y'all want to do. And every woman who, under the sound of my voice, will agree with y'all do what y'all want to do. Then y'all use us as excuse for when y'all don't do what you're supposed to do,
Let me say this. Let me say this. The book of life,
which
the
is
Bible,
the holy book.
the
Okay.
holy book,
Mm-hmm.
tells you how your life should pan out and should plan and how your life should be. The Bible guides you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why many relationship is not planned by God? I'm planned. Why following this lead?
Because, in the Western world, the government and politics and sociology, mind you, they all stem from the Bible because trust me, they use the Bible more strategically than the pastor in the pulpit.
Got it.
I always remember you say, what you say, mommy say? They give
Give
us
you
the
the
Bible
Bible,
whilst
that is
they
seal
enjoy
the
the
land.
sea. Okay.
Yeah, they give you the Bible, otherwise they
So,
steal the land.
so what does that say to us about us?
Hmm.
It says that God give us a brain, but we hand it over to somebody else to manage.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it is in the marriage and in every other relationship. Bonding, women bond with their children, yes, because they spend more time with their children. They know their children better. And they also seek to learn how to enrich their children's life without harming them, but still getting the results because many single women have raised successful children in this country.
So why then?
Hi, Abigail.
Hey, Abigail. So why then, if that is the case, so why then you're why you ain't helping your sons to bond with me if I was married to you?
Because I can only take my children so far. It's like, the saying, what we say in the Bahamas,
Mm-hmm.
you could take a horse to the well, but you can't make them drink. So you, if I take the child to you,
Mm-hmm.
now, it's like me taking you and introducing you to a
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you only say, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you,"
Mm-hmm.
and nothing else, you're not going to develop a relationship with that individual. The same thing apply in your home with your children. I can say, and I know from my personal experience with my kids, I will say, do this for daddy, do this for daddy, do this. And I instill in them, that's daddy, that's daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so whenever they do, they do. But if they go and they meet a brick wall, what you think they can do? When I say, take this to daddy, you know what they can say? I don't want to go. Why? Because they know what they can get when they reach there.
I believe that most times that woman could do more.
I believe
And I'm not trying to
too.
blame the woman. I
I
believe
believe
that they
that the
can do
men
more.
need to do more.
But men, see, you don't understand how men are being abused in this area.
Mm.
Because of situations, men are being abused.
That is really
And
vindictive.
and and and,
Any woman who do that,
and the Bahamian,
she's wrong.
let me see if I could break this down a little bit. The Bahamian woman is is into this way where if the father don't have the funds or don't give the funds,
Hmm.
she hold the child.
She is robbing the child of a enriched life
And this happens.
because my thing is, and again, that's where our material culture come from, because sometimes people can do more and they don't. And there are times when they can't do, and we expect. But there has to be a balance and there has to be fairness in the way that we operate. We are training our children how to deal with other people. So,
Mhm.
what they see us do, what they hear us say,
So true.
is what they
Abigail.
are gonna emulate.
Mhm.
So, when mothers bond with their sons, they're basically teaching their son how to relate to a female. When you bond with your daughter, you're teaching her how to bond with other men. When I bond with my daughter, I am teaching her how to relate to other females.
So why is so many young men come from college, don't have a job,
Now,
but still
that's
in the
bigger
house?
than
Yeah,
their,
yeah, yeah.
that's
See,
bigger
see,
than the
and
house
you know why that? Okay,
situation.
you know why that happens? Because the mothers
Tony,
bonding with their son
how
and will not put their foot down, but they'll throw their daughter out or they make their daughter go to work. See, don't give me a story that is true. I give you facts. Let me give you facts.
That might be true in
And
some
and and and,
situations.
and mothers are guilty of it because they won't allow their fathers to bond and to control the situation. Because if I say to my son, get up, put your clothes on, come, let me take you to. Don't tell me because, oh, I can't do that because that making minimum wage. No, you got to start from somewhere. So when I bring you back home, your mother's saying, why are you taking my
But
son
basically, if
after you
you
done come to
start at the
college?
top and you can't get what you
I done
qualified to,
finished
then
college
you
and
do
I.
whatever.
Okay. See, I don't hear the story. See, mothers has to understand that I might take the boy to do that because I may see he needs
To
to
develop,
develop.
to grow.
Yes.
Yes,
And
yeah.
so by you coming and talking, oh man, leave the boy and you only creating the monster. Ain't that I want his money. Ain't that I want nothing. Ain't that I ain't want to pay no bills. I just want him to get rolling.
And that is why I think the harm that is done is to say, leave the child. What you should do is have a discussion
Mm-hmm.
as parents, even in the presence of the child or in the absence of the child, but as an in that's why that united front. I may bond with my child in one way and you bond with the same child in a different way. But when we come together in the interest of that child, we are supposed to be speaking with one voice.
Yeah, I want to, and the reason I, like I said, I bought the show because I want to bring some sensitivity to this conversation, and we need to have this conversation more in the family. We need to open up more, and we need to have real conversation in the homes. Don't wait till it spill over where you can't control your young son for
Exactly.
smoking dope,
Exactly.
and you talking, but you bonding with him, and this man, and yeah, I can care.
Bonding
Listen,
starts from birth
bonding.
or from in the womb,
There you go.
actually.
So bonding is it's a criteria of bonding. It starts, like you say, from the
In the
womb,
womb.
and it starts when you born. You have to have a listening ear to bond. You have to have love involved. There's so much factors
And
involved.
have an
Open
open
mind.
mind.
So the bond, and so in relationship we call where we are think we bonding because when I pass the money across the table and you get happy and then you go shopping, come back and you say, "But I love you," and all that. See, that's not bonding. That's not bonding.
That's
And
bribing.
yeah, and too long in our society, that is so much things that we could bond with,
Hmm.
and so much things we make better. And one of the key elements of this bonding today is, yeah, one of the key element is that our mouth, our, our what we say, and sometimes we say so much negative things that people, you're losing people air. You're losing your son air. You're losing your daughter air. I'm talking about the fathers now. We might, we kind of so harsh in the way we respond, and sometimes we will lose our sons just by one having one argument and being more careful. And as men, I only brought this up so mess with Melanie today because I believe that men need to bond more with their sons. This is why I believe we have an issue. Yes, the mother might bond in a different way, but I think the father needs to go back and break. I am the man and I in charge.
Yeah.
I think that's where we make the mistake. I think we need to use some of the woman techniques,
Wisdom.
some of the love and the bond the way we bond. I'm getting me
Abigail just
Abigail.
said that parents have to be on the same page when it comes to their children. They have to be united in order to make a positive impact on the children.
And Abigail, you right because it goes what I give, what I give out there. I looking to receive what I give, but the truth is what I put out there. I gotta live by it. And most time we put things out there because we think it's true and food. We put things out there that, oh, we know I don't drink, but we sneak into the bar and drink. So there's some things we do and then we lie, and then we try to cover our lie, and the children are smarter than back in the day. And what we will let go, children will let go. And children always looking to, seems like the children today so smart, they always looking for something. Looking something to grab on. They looking like example, like I said something the other day. I said something today. I said, you know what? This girl look like a gay. I out of the blue, I two girls together. And I hear the little respond go, you so negative. I look around, and the little girl in the back, I was shocked. I mean, this little girl, out of the blue, I didn't even know. You so negative. Why you gotta think they gay? What you think? I was like,
You was being negative, and the
yeah,
little
look,
girl call you
look,
out.
what do you think? What do you think I wanted to do? I wanted to melt.
I know, right?
Cause,
Let the ground
uh,
open up and swallow
or
you.
I wanted to be a Tony. You know what Tony is?
No?
Get from around. You was on your child, right? But I couldn't because I got caught out. So we have to be
Yeah.
very careful.
So Abigail say fathers have to be more involved in their children's lives. If this happens, I believe there will be less violence and better young men in our society. And I say amen to that.
And I say amen to that. And so go back to my conversation earlier, Gabby, Abigail. But listen, I was talking about how I saw all these guys smoking dope,
Hmm.
and and you know when I hit Augusta Street. Now I go back to the story. When I hit Augusta Street and I stop and get a bottle of water, and this guy asked me for $1, and he started saying, "Tony, you know me." He started talking to me. He said, "Tony, boy, I see for the water." And what shocked me that this is a guy who I know used to be in society, and he begging for $1. And I said, boy, how do we fall? But
Hmm.
that's not the key. The key is this. This is why I get that. He didn't even, he one of them fellas he didn't take the time out to take care of his son.
Mm.
And what dawned to me at this moment, it flashback.
Hmm.
We blaming the children, but who is the fault? That's where I was shocked. That's when with this bottle of water, you all don't know, I can drink this bottle of water no
You
more.
couldn't?
No, because
Because you just shocked to see
the
the
flash,
person.
because it flacked back with him standing there begging me. This dude used to be up in, driving
Hmm.
a Mercedes and I remember he had children and he never
Took care of
never
them.
checked for them. But when I reflect back at all the smoking dope and stuff for these boys in the street,
Hmm.
the question was where the fathers was. The question was who, where they learned this from. They couldn't pick it up on their own. So somebody,
Role modeling,
yeah.
role
And
modeling.
so the whole thing, if we don't start bonding with
From the
our, yeah,
cradle,
if we
from
don't
the
start bonding
cradle.
with these children and bonding in the relationship and taking these kids, we are in trouble. Our
Yeah,
country in trouble,
yeah.
and it's no longer we could depend on the church because the church seems like they lock up now. They getting scared to come on the street. So if we, the parent, don't step up and help the church, because think about this, and then I go on. At every corner in Nassau, as you turn, there's what?
A
A
church,
church.
yeah.
So if the church is on the corner, what
What is
happened?
it doing?
What is
Yeah.
doing?
Hmm. I
So
mean, because Abigail said we do have to return back to biblical principles,
yeah,
but we have more churches now
than ever
than we
before.
had when we were kids.
There's all but four.
So
The church is only the four walls. The church,
the principles are not being
So
taught.
what we need to do is take what's in the church out of the church in the street. I
Hmm.
ain't saying number the pastor,
Into the
I
homes.
ain't saying number the priest. I ain't saying number the pastor. I ain't saying number. What I say, we, the neighbors, the family, the mothers, the daddy, we need to take what's in the church and bring it back to the street.
And so now you get the picture why
Mm.
it takes a community.
I don't believe in that
If
community
the
thing.
principles are right, we can never
Because
live
you ain't gonna take.
effective lives in isolation from the people around us, because guess what? Have you seen parents that try to raise their children in a particular way,
Mm.
but they still go astray?
But the best are the people in the church,
Because
eh?
of the influences.
Yep.
And I could tell you, it don't matter whether you send them to a private school or a public school, it's who they are drawn to that will determine what they will become. And sadly enough, the most difficult, the
Mm.
most difficult phase in an individual's life, and that's when those bonds start to pull apart, is during the teenage years.
That's
So
when learning.
whilst you may sit and blame the mother have her own struggle
I am
dealing
not.
with these teenagers.
Listen, I'm not blaming the mother. I'm just saying the mother gotta know her role in this, and when her role is then play out and reach to that point, let the father take his role, but don't block the father from
I
taking his role.
agree.
That's
I
all I'm saying.
agree.
There's too
and
much
and
blocking.
and so that's why I say
Mm,
be unified in your approach to raising your children.
mm.
Strengthen the bonds. The bond should not be a competitive one where the father jealous of the mother jealous, and blaming each other for what is going on with the children. Collectively, you have a shared responsibility, so keep the bonds strong. And I think next week we should really look at would pull bonds apart in relationship, and that way we can bring in the adult bonding, because we didn't get to touch that too
Yeah,
much this week.
but we see, we could take that
Bond
on
breaking.
breaking, and we could take that on. But I am begging out here today. I am
Mm-hmm.
actually, I, I feel like preaching, but that's for another day. But I am begging that some of the mothers who don't allow these fathers to
Take
deal with these
their.
children, deal with
Mm-hmm.
these boys especially. I only saying boys because yes, that's where the boys is be stuck in the house. The
Mm-hmm.
girls is be so excited to go to get to get things done. But our young men, are locked in these houses and stuck in these computer games. I don't know what's going on. And so the mothers gotta help along with the fathers, both together. But the fathers, she gotta let the fathers somehow take the lead. Most times women don't like men because you do harsh or you do. We know what we're doing. Give us that lead. Let us run that. Let us give us that support. Let us do this. And so I can close today because the time has expired today. We
Mm-hmm.
must go. And I should say this: you must bend the tree while it young. So when these, we might lose the crew now, but these crew coming, these and children are coming so aggressive now. You won't believe it. Young children are telling from 5 and 6, no, I ain't got no. And so you need, man, sometimes you need more than Jesus Christ. I mean, you,
Well, you definitely need wisdom, but you need skills, and you
mm.
need knowledge and patience and
But
understanding.
nobody is training the parents. And I believe the church is responsible for that. Train the parents. Until we start to train some of these parents, we in trouble.
Yeah.
Children growing children, that ain't working.
Yeah.
Our country is going to hell in a basket. And we need to figure this out. And we need to figure it now.
Okay, thank you, Abigail. Abigail said this is very informative and a great discussion today. She clapped us up and she enjoyed it as usual. Thank you, and we are so happy that you were able to join us. Also, Miss Gilbert from Freeport,
Yes, very well.
and
Love you,
all
Miss
of
Gilbert.
our silent viewers
Oh, they're there
that
because we can
have
see that.
been there following us
Mm.
week after week. And next week, we're definitely going to look at bond breakers
What
in marriage.
what causes the marriage to go to hell?
Bond breakers.
And
Yes.
you know what the
What
marriage?
break the
I can
bond?
tell you a couple.
Yeah, but we can leave
Yeah,
that for
we
next
leave it
week.
for another day.
So thank you
Yeah.
again. Enjoy your weekend. Continue to be safe. I'm in a bubble, so I don't know what's happening out there in the
Yeah,
world as it
she
relates to COVID.
old school bubble. It's old school.
Yeah,
She's
but
but related to COVID, it's coming down. It's looking beautiful, but let's still wear a mask. The,
Apply the
apply this.
principles.
The
Yeah.
mask and the distance is now what we worry about. Don't worry about
Hmm.
all the rest. That's the mask and the distance, and that's what we need to do. Um, she said something.
She said that should be exciting. The topic for next week.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you ever had a marriage go bad before, you need to hit us up, and I'll tell you why. With marriage, what bonding breakers?
Bonding. Yeah. Bond
Bond
breakers
bond
in
breakers.
marriage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was married before, and I never listened. That's one.
Hmm. Anyhow, take care,
Next week,
everybody. Enjoy your week.
have a good one.
Continue to stay safe
Enjoy
and
it.
healthy.
Enjoy